All right, Stanley Johnson interview.
My name is Brittany Clark, and I'm sitting here interviewing
Stanley Johnson.
Okay, so we're interviewing him for October's issue for Autumn Magazine, and the first questions that we're just gonna simply start with is just go ahead and tell me, how would you describe yourself using 3 words?
Wow, great. Fun, caring, and hilarious.
Okay, those are all 3 good qualities to have. Kind of just talk to us about, what do you feel is your purpose in life?
Wow, I think that's a great question. I think my purpose in life is simply just to inspire people and create an atmosphere of love where people feel like that they can do whatever it is. I believe I'm naturally a motivator. And at first I thought that my purpose was to sing and to make music, and I realized that's not the case. It's actually just a vehicle in which I am able to carry out my purpose, which is just to love on the world, man, and love on God's people, and give people that little bit of hope that helps them to kind of keep going on.
When did you begin to realize that, what your purpose is? I know you said at first it was music or singing, and now it's just the kind of love.
When did I realize that? When I realized that, that music is trendy and it can be fleeting and fading and up and down. Even though I wanted to make timeless music, I realized that it's just so much more to being a singer. There's a lot of singers, but what is that quality? What is something that makes me stick out, that gives me that edge? And I realized that it's my ability to really, like I said, to create this atmosphere of love and this atmosphere of comfort that's inviting. And immediately I realized that that's way more than just singing. That's talking. That's my interactions. That's the way that I encounter people, how I present myself. And so, yeah.
So is this you in a big bundle of like all your talents and all your gifts?
Yeah, absolutely. I think some people, if I never sang, they would still probably like, okay, you have other talents, you have other things and other gifts. And I tried to make myself that. I didn't want to be a jack of all trades and master of none. However, I did want to be able to do a lot of different things and have a lot of different avenues in which I could, really express myself and carry my purpose out.
How are you using your gift to fulfill your purpose now?
Absolutely. Well, I'm singing. So now I do music, I lead worship, do workshops and travel, and been doing some more speaking engagements and just different things like that. Even worship enrichment and development, leadership development, some one-on-ones I do. I use all that to carry it out. I believe if you have a platform, if you have a voice, then you need to use it for some things that are, that has some level of positivity for other people and not just yourself.
Okay, awesome. Kind of talk to us about how would you feel that music has changed your life?
Oh my goodness, it has absolutely changed my life. I tell people all the time, I feel most normal when I'm singing. When I'm, I feel most normal when I'm on stage or I'm singing. Not even on stage, just period. That's when I feel normal. And I think music is, where words fail, music speaks. That's a quote that I've heard people say. But more than anything, I think music just brings us life. It brings something out of people that's far more than a handshake or a hug or a touch or even, other art mediums like dance or visual, which are also beautiful. But music is something that is just so universally sound and it's so powerful. I know it's changed my life, and I simply want to show my heart. And what comes from the heart reaches the heart.
Amazing. Let's kind of touch base on trading chains.
Yes.
I recently researched that and I looked it up and I heard it and I really do like it.
Great.
Could we have you sample just a little bit of that song for us?
Sure. My heart is now open. My life is now focused. I've traded my chains, Lord, now I belong to you. My heart is now open. My life is now focused. I've traded my chains, Lord, now I belong to you.
So I've seen the video to that song and it's very powerful, and you're sitting there, you're holding change. Kind of just talk to us about it's kind of power in the simplicity of the video of you just sitting still and holding a change. Kind of talk to us about the motivation, not behind just the music video, but the song.
Yeah, I think for gospel music, Christian music to be so artistic, so powerful, so transformative, I think a lot of times, no knock to a lot of other people, but I think we just really do some really watered down videos that don't really show any type of artistic expression or excellence in art. So when you're fusing music with, you know, visual arts and film and different sorts, I think there'd be some artistic medium there. So I thought simple was more, you know, and so you see the change, you see the powerful, you know, expression on my faces and different things. But more than anything, I think it allows other people to kind of fill in some of the blanks for themselves. So I didn't really tell their story. I didn't tell a story. I can show certain stories that I identify with. And certain scenes of other things happening. We talked about that, you know, when we were doing the record, but I think more than anything, the simple factor of it is what connects people and say, you know what, I identify. I don't know how, I don't know why, but this is something that touches with my story. This is something that happens. It's simple, but it's powerful.
Yes, amazing. Okay. Now, do you feel that with that song, that's part of you fulfilling your purpose as well?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Trading Chains is not something that is a finished thing. So I haven't traded all the chains. I think it's, you know, absolutely a process. It's like link by link. You know, it's story by story. It's journey and experience by journey and experience. And so I think that's absolutely a part of what my story is. You know, trading sorrow for joy, trading, you know, hate for love, and, you know, trading pain for something that's just brand new and something that's different. And so Trading Chains, it means so much, man. It's
you know, I think the thing about that song, it's not only a song that can be used for today. I think it's something that years from now people can still, you know, agree with it and kind of applies to their life too, because people are always growing and they're always changing and stuff. So I think that's great. So as I had discussed with you earlier, the theme of this month's issue is the change in yourself. What type of change have you experienced that has altered your life?
Wow, great. Well, I've moved to Phoenix, so a great change there. But I think more than anything, I've been able to just really kind of confront who I am. You know, and at 29 years old, not that I have this long life story, but more than anything, just like who is Stanley? The good, the bad, the ugly, some things in the past, and sometimes that requires you to, you know, really consider relationships as well. You know, people, friendships, family, whatever the case may be. And so a lot of that is changing, not to be so harsh or saying, like, I'm cutting you off or whatever it is, but there's some people you just can't take certain places. You can't take, you know, to the next level. I mean, you have those friends, you know, some friends you can go out and, you know, you can you know, go play ball with. Then there's some friends that I want to do music with. Then there's some friends I have because they do not do music, you know, and just because it's normal. It's not, you know, anything attached to it or something that they want from me. And so I think more than anything, you know, confronting who I am, the good, the bad, the ugly. And if God can love me and know me better than I even know myself, then absolutely I believe that I should be able to do the same.
Fantastic. Now, kind of taking that, kind of talk to us about how you embrace the change. I know that, you know, you talked about the people that you associate with and God loving you and accepting you for who you are, but also moving out here. What are some ways that you embrace that change?
I had no problem with, you know, interacting with new people, but I think really anything that it's difficult when you transition across the country, but embracing the change, I think that I've understood that God can use imperfect people in seemingly imperfect situations to carry out a perfect plan. And so I believe that if I know that it wasn't just a good move, but a God move, then I should have some comfort. I should have this ability to embrace some good things. There's going to be some great ups and there's going to be some tragic downs. I mean, that's humanity. That's life. So I embrace it all. Fantastic.
Now, what type of advice would you give to someone that needs to build endurance?
I think they should, it's two ways. I think you should get somebody around you that can help build some confidence in you and motivate you. that'll help you to kind of, to have some endurance. I know what it's like to wake up in the morning and not want to swing your feet out of the bed and get ready. I know what that's like. I know what it's like to be in a room full of people and everybody say, yeah, you did great, and you still feel like nobody's there and nothing really matters. But more than anything, you have to have some purpose outside of yourself. Eventually, you won't be enough. And you need something external. If it's other people, friends, family, kids, spouses, whatever it could be, you need something that pushes you, and that's going to give you that extra strength, that extra mile, along with, God's help. So I believe that we are all interconnected. So you can't, walk this journey alone. And so your endurance and strength comes from God, and it comes from other people.
Good answer. Now, for you, what is it for you that kind of keeps you going, gets you going?
Absolutely. I think it's just a simple, when you realize, I remember one time somebody asked me, do you think you're successful? Do you think you've been successful? And I was like, oh man. And it was really difficult for me to answer that question. And then I realized what was the goal of what I was doing. If the goal of what I was doing was numbers and money, and yes, numbers are, can be cool, and I've, had a dollar or two come in, and, whatever the case is. But I think more than anything, my goal was to touch people, to inspire people, to really get it out there and help to change the world and save some lives, through Jesus Christ. And Jesus saved lives. And I remember people emailing me and saying stuff like, I wanted to give up. I've had friends who know me. And I mean, know me, the ugly or whatever it is, bad things, great things. And when that music can still touch them, when I still see them, seeing beyond it, I was like, this is so much greater than myself, And so that helps me to have this endurance. That helps me to keep going. Along with, my family, along with friends, I'm super extroverted. So all of that works together, man. It kind of keeps me going. I can't give up. It's not in me.
Now, do you have a favorite song that has allowed you to stay strong during a difficult time in your life?
I think that's a great question. I do have a lot of favorite songs. I'm a huge Stevie Wonder fan. I love Whereabouts. For some reason, that song just calms me. And it really just kind of makes me think and reflect, because that's what the lyrics make you kind of do. But definitely Kirk Franklin's Road Trip. I don't know, I've been bumping that. I was saying, it for some reason, one day I was listening to it and it made me cry, and I just didn't understand why. But I think really the songs and the lyrics and, saying like, hey, you gotta travel light because this road won't be easy, and, doubt will come, believe me. So songs like that, that really, really, truly inspire me. I'm trying to think of some other stuff, but I can't even pull it up right now because I'm in a good mood today, so of course I wouldn't know. But yeah, those songs have been really just kind of help getting me through. And then also some songs that just really have no words. I really like, William McDowell, and some of his songs that do have words as well. So just stuff like that, people that really just kind of encourage you.
It's crazy that you say that because you're in a good mood, and it's usually when you're dealing with a certain situation, or today I'm having a bad day or a good day, and you listen to a song and it may make you feel different than when you were feeling another way before, right?
Right.
So
right.
Is that something that you think that with your music or just some of the music that you like, depending on how you feel that day, it may make you feel a different way each time?
Absolutely, and that's what music is supposed to do. That's what art is supposed to do. It's supposed to pull on you. And I keep saying music in the realm of art because I don't think people think of it like that. They just kind of think of it as some cool sound. But it's not. It's not just that. It's art. It's artistic. And I think that we should be making art when we think about music. Our songs should start as blank canvases and really grow into something powerful with layers of colors and different things, kind of happening. And some of it has to dry for a little bit before you start back with the next part. And I really think that we should consider it like that. And music is supposed to do that. Songs and lyrics are supposed to pull on you and tug on you and remind you or correct you or pull you back or center you. That's what it's about.
I think this is a question that I haven't asked you. When did you start singing?
Oh my goodness. I can remember starting to really, really sing maybe around 7 or 8. And then I kind of kept going for a little bit. And I remember having my little first church solo, maybe 9 or 10 or so. Then I kind of was getting a little more serious about music, maybe around 12, and then really was like, you know what, I'm gonna really give it all I have around 14 or so. Then I was over the gospel choir and everything, and then I didn't play or anything of that sort. And then I got into, by the time I was in college, Still kept doing music. And then when I was 21, that's when a church asked me to play for them. I couldn't play nothing. I probably knew like 2 songs, a couple chords, but I practiced so much. I was so nervous. And I'm just happy I said yes, even when it was crazy that I said yes, even when I knew I didn't have what it takes at the time. But, I believe, that God doesn't always call the qualified, but he qualifies those that he calls.
Amen. So take us back to that day. Were you nervous, or how did it end up?
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. So I said yes, that I'll come and check out whatever it was, a small church in Davidson County in the country in North Carolina, and outside of Winston-Salem. And I went down there and played something. The deacon was there. He didn't know if it was good or not, so it didn't matter. He's like, well, come back tomorrow, to our Bible study. So I came to the Bible study, and the pastor was like, is that the piano man? And so he's like, come on up here, let's see what you got. And he told the lady, one of the ladies leading worship, like, sing that song I'd like you to sing. And she happened to sing More Than Anything, I love you, Jesus, I worship and adore you. It was like one of the first songs I ever learned to play, the first full song I ever learned to play. And so I was like, oh, this must be a sign. Yeah. So, she starts going, and I start playing the song and singing it, and it just worked out, and it made me really kind of shine because, of course, I knew that song. Out of the 4 songs I knew, that was one of them. So I was like, okay, this is it. This makes sense. And ever since then, here I am, full-time in ministry, full-time in church, and doing exactly what I love to do.
Do you have a favorite song or scripture that has allowed you to stay strong during a difficult time in your life?
Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorite scriptures, Philippians 3:14, I press toward the mark of the high call, which is in Christ Jesus. Now, I really love that verse. and I really love I love all of Jesus' teaching, but there are like 2 principles that I absolutely live by. One of them keep me grounded, and the other one keeps me moving and doing my best no matter where I am. And the one that keeps me doing my best is when Jesus says, you've been faithful over a few things, I'll make you rule over many. And then the other one that kind of really keeps me grounded is when he says, listen, you take the plank out of your own eye before you try to get the speck out of your neighbor's. And that'll preach, because I think we kind of identify as, well, you got this or you got that. And so we feel entitled or qualified to call other people out. And we don't, because we all got some plank in our own eye.
Sure do. Now, Stanley, this concludes the end of our interview. Is there anything that you would like to leave with our viewers before we wrap up?
Yeah, absolutely. I would encourage people to never give up. God has an amazing way of using, as I said before, imperfect people with seemingly imperfect situations to carry out a perfect plan. You never know what can happen. I believe that we try to figure out our ways and conjure up our ways of doing things, but God has an amazing plan, and if we really believe that, and I think we should just continue to press forward and walk forward. And there's some amazing power in trusting in the mystery. And we find so much discomfort because we want to control and know everything. But there's power in mystery. And I think if we trust in our mystery of our destiny, of our purpose, of what's to come, then there's power in that.
Now we're entering the end of your interview. How are some ways that your audience and our viewers can stay in contact and learn more about your music?
Absolutely. Stanley J Music. It's everything on Twitter, on Instagram, on Snapchat. STANLEY JMUSIC. You can also StanleyJmusic.com. You can also find. You can email me at StanleyJohnsonmusic@gmail.com. All that good stuff. Reach out to me, please. If you find me on one of them, don't worry. I'll maybe try to link you to another one. And I love hearing from people. I love hearing people's stories and experiences, sharing some of their successes and what they're doing as well. I wouldn't dare ask somebody to share my music and then I don't share their stuff. So look on YouTube. Check out Trading Chains. Check out the first project Beyond Me. And,
Okay, I just want to say thank you for allowing us, on behalf of Auto Magazine, just a brief moment into your world so we can learn more about you. And we look forward to the completion of this issue.
Absolutely. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate you all coming by, and I'm excited about the issue and the interview as well. This is great. Thank you.